Hello, this is lesson 3 of the mindfulness. It's called Stress Less with Mindfulness lesson series from Texas A&M AgriLife Extension Service. And this lesson 3 is called Mindful Walking and Thought Surfing. And I'm Julie York from the Texas A&M AgriLife Extension Service. And today I have with me Roxie Price. And will you introduce you and what your title is in Georgia?
I am a family and consumer science agent. I'm at the University of Georgia, and I am here today with my friend Julie. She has asked me to help present with her, and I'm excited to tell you a little bit about mindfulness.
All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen of the PowerPoint. And then we'll go from the beginning like we normally do. And you can see us. And if anybody pops in, Roxie, can you keep an eye on the participants and just if anybody's, I don't know if I have to give you permission or if you can just let them in. They should. No, I think I have to let them in. So anyway, this lesson is going to be talking about mindful walking and thought surfing, like I just said. And the other lessons we're talking about just being in the moment and then mindful eating. And this one is going into this next topic. So we're not going to talk about what you did since the last lesson, since we don't have anyone on here at the moment. But this lesson right here, this is a 5-minute mindfulness meditation. And it's a short body scan. And it focuses on noticing different parts of the body as well as your breath. So like I said before, this whole mindfulness series is on when chaos is around you and things get stressed and you're just like, oh, I want to scream. Or before you even get to that, I want to scream moment is stopping your mind, stopping yourself and taking breaths or taking a walk or taking, just taking a moment and focusing on the moment. And that's what this whole series is about. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this, and it's just going to be a mindful meditation. They have such wonderful voices when they do this, and I really enjoy it. So I'm going to turn off my video for just a second so you don't see me looking and you can just hear it.
Your meditation. I'm Dr. Robert Eric Dinenberg, and I'll guide you through from start to finish.
Or not.
Welcome to your meditation. I'm Dr. Robert Eric Dinenberg, and I'll guide you through from start to finish. Mindfulness is present moment attention without judgment. For this meditation, we'll attend to our feet with mindfulness, and then we'll move on to the breath in the abdomen. And then to finish, we'll return to the feet. So let's get started. With mindfulness, start to observe your feet. Answer this question to yourself. What does it feel like to have my feet on the ground in this present moment? Explore this present moment experience of your feet. You might notice what it feels like to have your feet in your shoes, in your socks. You might observe different points of pressure presenting in different parts of your feet. And you might notice temperature. Welcome to your meditation.
I'm so sorry.
This meditation will attend to our feet with mindfulness, and then we'll move on to the breath in the abdomen, and then to finish, we'll return to the feet. So let's get started. With mindfulness, start to observe your feet. Answer this question to yourself. What does it feel like to have my feet on the ground this present moment. Explore this present moment experience of your feet. You might notice what it feels like to have your feet in your shoes, in your socks. You might observe different points of pressure presenting to different parts of your feet. And you might notice temperature. Simply observe whatever you notice. There's no right or wrong, no good or bad. Whatever you notice is okay. And anything that takes you away from this noticing is a distraction. Any thought about the future or the past, any worry or expectation, any internal dialogue or judgment, notice and let go. With forgiveness, with patience, notice and let go. Notice and let go. And shepherd your attention back to your feet. And when you're ready, let go of your feet and shift your attention to your abdomen. Here we find the home base for mindfulness of breathing. Observe what it feels like to breathe in this present moment. Explore and discover your own way of noticing your own breath. You might observe a rising of your abdomen as you breathe in, and a falling as you breathe out. Your own way of noticing your own breath might include registering an expanding feeling as you breathe in, and a deflating feeling as you breathe out. Ride the wave of your breath with your attention. Anything that takes you away from your breath is a distraction. Any thought about the future or the past, any worry or internal dialogue, any expectation or judgment, notice and let go. Notice and let go. With forgiveness, notice and let go. And time again, shepherd your attention back to your breath. Back to answering this very simple question. What does it feel like to breathe in this present moment? And when you're ready to transition out of the meditation, return to your feet. This time there can be some movement in your toes. And notice what it feels like to be moving your toes in this present moment. And let this movement transition you out of the meditation. So as your fingers are moving, and if you wish, your body's stretching, you can transition fully out of the meditation. Thank you.
Isn't his voice wonderful? Okay, I'm going to see if I can, not do that. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing for just a second because, hi, Arlene. I'm going to turn my camera back on. There I am. All right. I'm glad you joined us, Arlene. Arlene, this is Roxie. Roxie, Arlene. Arlene is an educator in the Panhandle of Oklahoma, out in, I want to say Texas County. Is that right? Out in Guyman. So let me share that screen again and get back to the presentation. But I touch it and it was like taking me, stopping everything. And I was like, no, technology is not my friend sometimes. Okay. So I love the people's voices that they use when they have those, like that. I think last time they had the 3-minute, I don't think it was 5 minutes of a meditation moment or just talking you through something. And their voices are so calm and peaceful, and I just am not. I don't have that voice. But the objectives today are we're going to practice mindful walking. We don't really need to get up and practice it, but I think in our mind we can picture walking. I've done a lot of walking this last week, and then there's also, we're going to talk about things that you can and cannot control, and practice thought surfing to change our perspective on upsetting thoughts or situations. That's why I was going to just kind of combine a couple of lessons so I didn't have to worry about trying to get everybody to come to all of the lessons, but they're all so good. I just said, forget it. So mindful walking is a way to practice moving without a goal or intention. It simply means walking while being aware of each step and of our breath. Noticing your surroundings, such as noises, lighting, temperature, just putting you in that moment. It can be practiced anywhere, whether you're alone, in nature, at the office, in your street or your town, just, walking wherever. It's just simply walking. It's about the journey and not getting anywhere. So just like he was talking about thinking about your feet, I try to ignore my feet because my feet are a mess. But he was right. Think about just your feet. You're taking your mind off everything else around you and just focusing on body parts. So you're bringing awareness into the body as you begin to move when you're mindful walking. So when you're doing it, you begin walking more slowly than normal, just noticing the sensation of your feet as it touches the ground, how it feels when you lift your other foot and swing it forward. And just because we've been walking since we were toddlers, and nobody ever, it's just an automatic movement for most of us. And so you don't really think about it. So they want you to take the time and really focus on that. And the goal is simply to pay attention. Your hands can be at your side, moving naturally, or held in front or in back of your body, wherever feels comfortable. And then mindfulness, their quote is, mindfulness knows no speed limits. While usually done slowly, you can actually hurry mindfully. So when the mind is calm, slow walking may feel more natural. Your speed might change during a period of mindful walking. Sometimes I listen to different movements, speeds of songs, just so I can move at different paces. But dedicate your attention to the sensation of walking and let go of everything else. If emotions or thoughts arise and call your attention away from your walking, it's helpful to stop walking and attend to those feelings. Just stop for a minute and take care of that moment. But when they're no longer compelling, return to your mindful walking. To stay in the present, you can use a quiet mental label for your steps, like literally left, right, doing those kind of things, or step, just anything you want to do that can help you focus. And labeling what you're doing occupies your mind, so it's less likely to wander off. The labeling also points the mind toward what you want to observe. And when you focus on sensations, with the attention on your legs and feet, feeling your sensations of each step, you feel your legs and your feet tense as you lift your leg. You feel the muscles, you feel the movement of your leg as it swings through the air. You feel the contact of your foot with the ground. There's no right experience here. You just see the experience, see how it feels to you. Whenever you notice that your mind is wandered, bring it back to your sensations of your feet walking. You might also pay attention to your posture, your sense of balance, one part of your body or another movement through space. Focus on your head, lifting it up instead of looking down. I know that's hard sometimes because I'm focused on, I don't want to fall. So you're kind of like, but lifting up also helps your spine. And then when they talk about slowing down, they just want you to pay attention to noticing the shift of your weight and your pressure that happens from one foot to another, and pay attention to your muscles moving. That's when you're doing all this, you're taking your mind off everything else that's going on around you. And that's why it's called mindful walking. So, has anyone ever done anything like that? Arlene? I see you. You're still there. You don't have your camera on. Roxie, have you ever done anything like that?
I've never paid attention to it as detailed, so I was glad to hear those details. Getting up from my desk, we have a wonderful place to walk here, a paved area. So when I realize I've just been sitting too long and the thoughts build up, yeah, I will hop up and go that way. Trying to pay attention to my posture, I've done that one before just in general, but the other ones I'm going to be excited to try.
Arlene, you there? I mean, she's on, but you know how it goes in extension. You can get called away in a second. Okay. So when you get caught up in the whirlwind of life, what happens to you? When you don't have time to find your center, how do you respond? So losing the connection to yourself can cause physical problems, emotional problems, spiritual emptiness. There's some medical diagnoses, I'm not sure how that word is, that it's a lot of just related to stress and not taking the, which stress can be relieved by being more mindful. So Roxie, I'm going to hand it over to you for this next one.
Okay, so what fills up your tank? And I will relate this back to myself as well. So, as in your car, we're going to put the good gas in our car because we sure don't want it to go kaput along the way. We need it to keep running. So I feel like the same thing. Am I putting the positive thoughts in my brain? What am I really focusing on? Is it going to help me with my walk? Is my walk going to be able to help me with this process? If I'm continuing to walk in this beautiful, nice area, but my tank is full of negativity and negative thoughts and the worries of today, yesterday, or the future, I'm not helping myself at all, and neither is the walk able to help me. So pay attention to what you focus on. Guard your attention. It is something to, it's very sacred, your attention, just because you have a choice, just like we do food. Guard what foods we focus on. Guard what things you are focusing on. They both can have negative consequences in this. So just be careful and notice that they are negative thoughts, and it's okay to have those. We're going to get to that in a minute. But on this, mindfulness is good medicine. What Julie just said about stress having a physical effect on your body, there is no doubt that it can. So practicing these techniques, the thought surfing, I mean, that's just like popping a pill that somebody gave you, except it's a lot cheaper. And you didn't have to take the gas to go there for the doctor to tell you what to do. Mindfulness is good medicine. All right, Julie. So right here, this is where we're talking about, it's okay. We're going to have these negative thoughts. We're going to have the feelings. We're going to have, like it says on here, even pain. What did you tell me, Julie, the other day? Once you hit 40, it's just coming, the pain, the aches.
It's coming.
So yeah, it's coming. So when it says about it being the medicine, this shows here, you're taking the pill of mindfulness. You're getting out and you're walking. It can lessen the depression, even the pain, because you're not focusing on, man, my shoulder hurts, man, my neck hurts. Get out and do something about it. Therefore, that's going to improve your quality of life. You're going to feel more like getting out as well. Lowers your anxiety. All right, so let's talk about that for just a minute. Whatever it is that you're worrying on for that moment, whatever the negative thoughts are at that moment, I've heard Julie say that, be in the present, be in the right here and the right now. What's going on at this moment? And then be aware of your breathing, of your walking, how you're walking. And that's like riding a bike. So then when you're in that happy moment, think of some good things. What is pleasant to you? What is a thought in your mind that does bring that smile to your face that will help you release those endorphins, just like the walking does for your brain? So go ahead and have something in your mind that you know is your pleasant place to go to in your mind, is your pleasant thought in your mind. And the other thing is give yourself some grace with this. Just accept it's okay. Those negative thoughts are going to come back, but just as quick as they came back, you can push them away. So make sure and guard your attention. And for other people too. So say we're out walking and Julie's walking beside me and there she goes, just breezes right by me. She doesn't speak. She doesn't say anything. That was kind of rude. Well, right then I'm focusing myself on somebody else's business that just put a negative thought in my mind about why she breezed by me. She may have had to go to the restroom. She may have had an appointment she was missing. Why would I think something negative that quick? What I should have said was, whoop, there goes Julie. I'm glad I'm walking a little bit slower because obviously she's got something going on. Bless her heart. I hope she can think of something positive. She gets where she's going. We'll just have a moment for her. But again, I'm focusing on what's positive with me, what's happening with me. Grace to everybody, grace to yourself. Think about that as well. When we're talking about lowering anxiety, you may have anxiety that comes up for whatever. Maybe you're the person that gets the road rage. Just think no matter what it is, that little person in front of you that they cut you off, or if they're going 10 miles an hour in a 55, that is, create a story. That's a sweet little grandma up there. She cannot help it, but it has nothing to do with you. It's none of your business. Focus on you and your business to keep your anxiety low. A lot of anxiety we bring on ourselves. Testimony, I do. That's why I can speak to it. And it's good if I can speak to it because it's a reminder for me to do what's right. We said a little bit about the eating, and I want to go back to what you focus your attention on because I want to correlate those two right there. I think Julie said that y'all had received some information previously about mindful eating. And I think we've all sat down in front of the TV with a bag of chips. So we're not only digging our hand in the bag of chips, we don't have a clue what's on TV because our mind's thinking in something negative. So if you can think about the eating process, that'll keep those thoughts away because you're looking at the TV, thinking something negative, putting your hand in the bag, and before you know it, the bag is empty. Every one of them are gone, and you don't even know you did it. So keep that in mind. Guard your attention. Guard your attention to food items. Guard your attention to your actions. Guard your attention to your thoughts. You're the only one that can do that at all. Julie wanted me to remind again, when we are paying attention to what we're eating, this doesn't have fruits and vegetables all on one side just for nothing. We have no problem getting our grains and our proteins. If we're going to stick our hands in a bag of something, let it be blueberries. Let it be broccoli. So focus on what foods, even if you're going to overeat, at least overeat the good ones. All right. Julie's got up. Oh, here's the grace. Yes. All right. What we have control of and what we don't have control of. We do not have control of other people, not even close. You do have control. You have guarded your attention. And now you're saying, here it is. You're just going to accept whatever it is that you cannot control, that you cannot change. And you're going to look at those things. And now you're asking for wisdoms. Which one can I change? Which things do I need to say, bye, Felicia? That's it. I can't do anything with Felicia. I can't do anything with Karen. I can do something with Roxie. So you're going to accept those things that just are, whether they're good, whether they're bad, whether they're just something aggravating you. Go ahead and put them in one of these categories. Can you control it? Can you change it? Worry about it long enough to figure out how to change it, then do something about it. If you can't, worry about it long enough to say, I can't change that, and let that go. You have plenty of other things to focus on. Julie, how are we going to know what we can and can't control?
That is a great question. I'm going to stop sharing this slide and I'm going to share, let's see, this right here. No, not that one. Okay. I guess I accidentally, of course, this is very me. I accidentally got rid of that one. So bring this one back up.
You want
Now
me to
you
go
can
through a
see-
few of these that I have? And
No, I got it.
yay.
What you can and cannot control. So these are things I can put in the chat or I can email you and just say, you know, looking at these things, what can you control? What someone else is thinking? I think not. The choices I make? I think so. How nervous I get, how I respond to my thoughts and feelings. I'm just grabbing a few random ones. What other people do, can you control that? No. Whether I follow through with commitments. Yep. What I say and do in a situation. I think so. My beliefs about other people. How others respond to my choices, expressed thoughts, feelings, and actions. No. What I do with my precious time on earth. The thoughts I have from time to time. It's saying the thoughts I have from time to time. Thoughts can come into your head. It's what you do with them and how long you let them stay there. What I do when I get anxious. So yes, definitely. Like I said, I can put this in the chat and I can also just email it to whoever needs that. But basically, the idea that we actually cannot control our thoughts at some point is a challenging idea. It's just these thoughts can come in your head. It's just really, truly, how long do you let them stay if they're not positive thoughts that are going to do some good in this world for you? Oh, now I got to go back and unshare this. It's the only problem about sharing handouts. You like got to unshare, share. And then we'll go to, let's say current slide, see if that goes, there we go. Okay, you can see the butterfly. Okay. So action works when the source of pain, stress, or harm is outside yourself. So when you can take action, when you can use your hands, feet, and mouth to reduce your stress. So that is something you can control. You can move yourself away from a negative situation. You can, I love it where it says you can use your mouth to reduce your stress. Sometimes saying something is a great stress reliever, but maybe thinking about it and not saying something might also reduce your stress. So in the long run, you might say something that comes back to cause stress later. Hands definitely, you know, this is also one of those things where it's like things you can control. I was showing Roxie this week that when you need to focus your mind on something, you can do it as simply as just taking a moment, like, you know, 30 seconds, 15 seconds. And I know I did less, I was just showing her, but just focusing on your fingers and doing an arthritis exercise from the National Center for Arthritis Foundation, or whatever it's called, National Arthritis Foundation. A lot of times, and people at your desks, your fingers get stiff because you may be typing or whatever, but you do the same repetitive motions. So you need to do exercises for your fingers and then your wrist and your knuckles. And so just focusing on each hand for, like I said, 30 seconds. That's something you can do with your hands, but also there's lots of different activities and ways, but we don't want to go too deeply into that because it's not on this lesson at the moment. So what you cannot control, when the source of stress is between your ears, the mind is going to tell you that you have control when actually you don't. So your thoughts, beliefs, and judgments, perceptions, these are all cognitive or brain activities that, like I said, I can talk myself into a stressful situation that really doesn't have to be. But so you have to, sometimes it takes one other person, if me talking out something and them going, stop, let all that go. And let, because you're way overthinking this. That is very common. And that's one of the reasons why I'm doing this series, because I need to remember that my mind can cause a lot more stress than need be. So accepting life's challenges, all you really need to do is accept the moment fully. You're then at ease in the here and now and at ease with yourself. That is from The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. I think that's the way you say his name. Acceptance allows us to rest in the present. Sometimes we don't need to take any action at all, particularly not immediately. That's why I said sometimes there's something you want to say and you might feel so much better if you say it. But if you just can wait and say it later, you'll form your words better. It might not even need to be said. There's that old saying, sticks and stones might break my bones, but that says words will never hurt me, but they do. Words stick. Let's see, when we're more flexible in dealing with our thoughts, we can de-stress our life and face changes that come our way. So we don't want to push away negative thoughts, feelings, or physical sensations, but we need to, well, I'll get in that in just a second. Check your expectations. Like she said, if I was walking past, or first of all, if I was walking fast, period, there's something going on. I'm going to be going somewhere on purpose. I don't walk fast. But then check your expectations of self and others. You have no idea what's going on with that other person. Don't blame yourself or others for things that you can't control, and accept the present. So I'm going to go ahead and switch to this next one. I have a point I want to make, but I think it's going to come up here. So stop the tug of war with your thoughts and emotions. So those Chinese finger traps that were all twisted and you could stick your finger in, and when you'd get so stressed, you're like, oh, I'll stick my finger in each side, and then you can't get them off because the more you mess with it, the tighter it gets. But all you have to do is stop and relax, and then it pulls apart. Just there, you get to a point where the struggle has to stop. And so struggling against our experiences creates more stress, makes our lives worse, not better. And so that's what I was going to say. Don't push away those negative thoughts. You need to accept where you are and then let it go. And then everything will work out, or at least the stress will be released. All right. So mindfulness helps us disengage from negative thoughts, helps us stop replaying the same events, and takes practice as we retrain our reactions. It takes practice to do these things. I'm getting better. I'm trying. Okay, so then thought surfing is another handout we have. And we create a channel for intense thoughts, feelings, and memories when we practice thought surfing. It allows us to become more comfortable experiencing present feelings, emotions, and urges without judging. And the practice is to allow these to peak and pass. This too shall pass. As that phrase has gotten me through 90% of my stressful situations. It also helps you to maintain a healthy perspective. that phrase, this too shall pass, I heard it many years ago. It relates to everything. So I'm supposed to, yeah. Let's see. I'm supposed to start this and then read over it. And we just heard this, didn't we, Roxie? All right, so can you hear me talking? Okay. So I want you to focus on a feeling or an urge or a body sensation. So like my back hurts, or I want a donut, or I'm frustrated, those feeling urge or back hurting. Pick something mildly annoying, not the most serious thing in your life. Notice your sensation or thoughts. Acknowledge it. Say to yourself, I'm having this thought. Breathe into that thought. Make room for it. And say a number from 1 to 10 to show the intensity of the upset. And then watch as the waves rise, crest, and fall. And like all waves, the agitation, urge, or thought will peak and pass. Say a number again as the thought wave passes on by and rolls on into the shore. And I'm thinking like when I was enjoying that roll and I dropped my phone in the water. But it happened and I caught it quick and nothing's wrong with my phone. So it's all good. Got a good laugh. So that's how you use thought surfing to be able to understand and accept that you have an issue, a negative urge or thought or emotion, and you just take a minute. And then, like Roxie, you said it too, like give yourself your little bit of time and then move on, just let it roll. All right, so I don't know, Arlene, if you're back or available, or Roxie, if do you either one have anything you want to share about that experience we just did with the thought surfing?
I think it's powerful if used correctly and intentionally. Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things I learned a long time ago. If you, that mental place where you need to go to, also with the thought surfing, but the ocean or any like side of a stream, or just if you're in the forest or someplace that brings you peace, if you'll focus on it for 10 minutes, it'll actually get into the long-term memory in your brain, and you can go back there in your mind when you close your eyes and just focus. So that was several minutes, so maybe that'll get into your long-term memory, and just the sound. But if you focus on every one of your senses and to experience something. The night we were on the beach, it was so cold, or that morning, I guess it was morning. It was so cold, we were like, okay, we're not getting into all our senses today. But looking at those, that's just kind of the review of all the different things we just talked through. But mainly training ourselves to notice first, relax into the moment, and surf it out, let it go, is the whole point of that. We have more resources to solve problems today, and to take action in line with our values. So there's all kinds of help out there to get you through situations, you just have to reach out sometimes and to the appropriate medical or pastoral help, whatever works for you individually. Okay, so this is a review of those 3 steps of mindfulness from all the sessions. So autopilot is the way we typically respond to anything. Our brain is wired to go down the same pathways we've used before, to have the same thoughts and feelings, to behave the same way that we have behaved before. Mindfulness offers a way out of this trap. And so the first thing we notice about our stress cues, the first step is to notice our stress cues, the way that we know we are experiencing stress. So you need to notice the things and then shift and slow down into a moment by moment awareness, that bringing into the present, and then practice paying attention to the sensation. So notice, shift, to practice. That's the 3 main points to the whole mindfulness lessons. So you want to start with small changes. If you can think of one thing that you're going to do, you don't have to tell me, but if you'll think of one thing that you'll do this week, then you can have a plan that'll make you have a goal, a set goal, because thought surfing takes practice to stay on your wave. So you don't have to tell me or anything, but that's fine. But let's see. I'm just going to go into, you can't stop the waves, but you can learn to surf. So this quote is from Dr. Kabat-Zinn, captures the core of the mindfulness approach. And that is the end of this lesson, but I am going to stop sharing for a second. And I want to see, let's see, I want to show you, because I think one of the ways, this too shall pass is a good one, but laughter is huge on helping you get through a situation. And so I'm looking real quickly for, I think I found it. Yes. Okay, let me share this real quickly. And this is a series that they've called Laugh a Latte, and it's some newsletters, because a latte is a fun drink and laughing is so critical to everything in life. They're saying actually a latte is a latte stone, which is a building support by the ancient Chamorro people. And then laughter is just a healthier way to keep you going. I love this where it says children laugh 400 times a day and the average adult laughs 15 times a day. That's sad. We need to change that. But it goes back to the whole history of laughter. And I love, Martin Luther used to use, back in the 16th century, he used humor therapy in his pastoral counseling on depression. You go through all these different historical uses of laughter. And I'm going to tell you, in 1930s, clowns were brought into US hospitals to cheer up children. I know it's a shock to some of you, but one of the projects that I did in 4-H, I was a member of a clown club, and we taught people about the different types of clown makeup, different types of clowns, what they did, the different histories on them, and then we would do workshops. So Arlene left and came back. There we go. So Arlene left and came back. So Arlene, you're back, and if you want to unmute, you can. But we, the family that I did clowning with in 4-H, they have continued, they're a big family. They have continued, several of them, to go to hospitals. Their mom was an RN, And so they've continued to this day to go to hospitals dressed as clowns. And they're like, if you ever come back to Tulsa and want to go with us, I'm like, but it's being a clown is a blast. You can, when you put that makeup on, it's just, you are transformed and you just get to see the light on people's faces. Unless they're scared of clowns. I do have a friend that is terrified. We had like a carnival theme for Relay for Life one year. She's like, no clowns. I'm like, okay. But anyway, then there's Patch Adams and things like that. But laughing connects us with other people. It builds, it's a universal language. So it builds bonds if it's used correctly. And I never like when people are laughing at other people. If you're laughing with someone, that's different. But when you laugh at them, that becomes bullying, I believe. So, but it does draw you into social relationships, and laughing chemically releases stress. So that has been proven. It speeds up oxygen to your bodies. It regulates your heart rate, relaxes tense muscle, lowers blood pressure. So laughing is so good. And I do know one lady specifically who, when she laughs, it is from the bottom of her gut, and it is contagious completely, just like yawning. So there also is a thing that, as I'm scrolling up, a thing called laughter yoga. And I think I'm going to look into this because I do need to laugh more. But there's a thing called laughter yoga. And so I want to look into that a little bit more. But I just wanted to end today's lesson with a little bit on the Laugh a Latte newsletters, and I can send you some of those if you're interested. So email me. I just want to say before I leave, thank you, Miss Roxie Price, for co-teaching with me today. And it made it a whole lot more fun to have you on.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, no problem. And Arlene, I will stop sharing or stop recording here. And if anyone wants to contact me, my email is julie.york, julie.york @ag for agriculture, .tamu for Texas A&M University, .edu for education. So julie.york @ag.tamu.edu if you want to contact me for more information. And I'm going to stop sharing this, and then I'm going to